Scariest conspiracy theories in the world that will seriously change your life. Part 11. Today we are talking about time loops. This is mental and very, very confusing. So you've seen films such as Groundhog Day, Palm Springs, or Dark or anything. You can kind of get the gist of this, where people are kind of stuck in a time loop reliving the same day again and again and again. Like things like Groundhog Day, Happy Death Day, all of that kind of stuff. What if this actually exists in real life? The theory is maybe there are some kind of wormholey weird places on Earth that connect interdimensionally with parallel universes. Told you it was confusing, didn't I? Now if you don't know, parallel universes, a universe is the same as ours, where things play out differently. But maybe there are actual things like this out there. So kind of think of it as if like a black hole but on Earth. And maybe when you enter this, it kind of freezes time so you're just stuck on your own. Almost like in your own bubble, just going through the same day again and again and again. I mean, it's mental and a crazy theory, but I mean, if you think about certain explanations for it, it kind of could be possible. But it's still mental.
The childhood conspiracy theory iceberg. This picture represents conspiracy theories that will change your childhood forever. As always, make sure to join the Discord for the full list. This is tier 1. Mrs. Puff is a psychopath. We've all seen SpongeBob and we've all seen Mrs. Puff before. On the episode titled No Free Rides in Season 2, Mrs. Puff says this.
What have I done? Everyone will know that I let him slide through school. I'll have to move to a new city, start a new boating school with a new name. No. Not again.
This is hinting that Mrs. Puff has changed her identity before, and I promise this gets worse. In season 12, episode 21, SpongeBob is helping her organize some of her junk, and he comes across a newspaper that says, "Deranged boat teacher makes getaway." So the real question remains, who is Mrs. Puff? Make sure to like and follow for tomorrow's video.
I'm going to show you possibly the biggest lie in history, at least if a lie could be measured by money. And that is because it is a lie two specific companies would love you to believe. Unfortunately, many say there may be nothing we can do to fix this lie. And the lie is that there is a world's richest person. Currently, this richest person is Elon Musk. And I'll show you why some of the darkest organizations want you to believe this. According to Forbes, people like Elon and Jeff Bezos are the world's richest people, but they can only list people whose assets are visible or public knowledge. Try as you might, there are people and organizations with assets so secret it is impossible to calculate their wealth. And since wealth is unfortunately power, this is a problem. For example, there is no way to know the worth of Vladimir Putin or the Saudi family. People can give estimates like saying they're worth $1.4 trillion, but this is nothing more than a guess. Knowing that assets can be hidden leads us to these two organizations, BlackRock and Vanguard. And there is good reason many people say these companies run the world. And the strange part is that both of these companies are the biggest investor of the other. For many, this is a massive warning sign, especially since they own a huge stake in all the major news networks. This includes Fox and CNN. And on a side note, they would seem to profit from the rhetoric that keeps us divided, along with having major sway in what the networks can say. Big Pharma? Vanguard owns huge shares in Pfizer. Oil and gas? They hold Shell, even Microsoft. And the scariest part is that they hold majority voting power in many of their investments. So who is the owner of them? They are so heavily invested in each other, it's strange to call them two companies. A quick Google search and a legal probe will show you that nobody actually knows who owns them. And because the organization is private, nobody knows who is a member of the company, though Vanguard has said that BlackRock has a unique company structure, which doesn't sound sketchy at all. There is one very public figure, however, and this is Larry Fink. He loves working at deep levels in the government and has no political affiliation because he will go wherever the money flows. He tried being the secretary for Hillary Clinton and was brought on as an advisor for Trump. He plays both sides. We saw this as he tried for the position of secretary for the Biden administration. So with all this mystery around the BlackRock Vanguard group, who is the richest person? If we go back in history, we can see that the Rothschild family is one of BlackRock and Vanguard's biggest holders. And conspiracy theorists have had a heyday with the stories of this family over decades. Other shareholders include the Bush family and even the royal family of England. So though we may know the families tied to these organizations, we may never know who runs them. And these shady individuals clearly have a reason they want to keep it that way. Welcome to the Gleek.com channel as we reveal more about the world of money and crypto.
Here's a true story from Antarctica that has me asking a lot of questions. A naval flight engineer tells the story of his experience in McMurdo Station, Antarctica, around 1995. They fly this huge plane around the continent and do assignments like drop people off, pick people up, stuff like that. Whenever they would fly toward the pole, they would always get to the same spot called Beardmore Glacier. In this area and throughout the continent, it's so common to see flying circular craft flying up and down and in pairs all around them. During lunchtime, they would all have discussions about this, and one thing they all noticed was that these craft would never fly through the no-fly zone near Beardmore Glacier. They thought there was some sort of barrier or territorial agreement that they couldn't go there. One day there was a medical accident on the other side of the continent, and this crew realized that it would take them 6 hours to get to this man. The captain knew that flying through this no-fly zone would actually be faster than going around, so he asked why they couldn't fly through the zone. And the answer they got was that it was an air monitoring station. They concluded that they're high enough and that they wouldn't contaminate the air, so they decided to fly through this no-fly zone. So they're flying and they're all looking down. They look and they notice that there's this huge hole in the ice that was probably the size of a football field. It led deep under the ice. Of course, they were all mystified and they all had so much questions on what this hole was. They pick up this guy and they head straight back to McMurdo Station. As soon as they land, they're met with the guy in an all-black suit. Remember, this is Antarctica, so this must have been really important. The crew was told by this man, what you saw at pole, you did not see. You do not talk about this because you never saw it. After much rumors, they realized what this thing could really have been. It is said that extraterrestrials and the government are working together within this hole as some sort of collaboration. Yo, we all know we've heard all the conspiracy theories talk about this Agartha theory and all this stuff, but after what this government guy said, I'm really starting to think about it. Whistleblowers have reported this stuff so many times. Let me know what you guys think, because there are so many possibilities on what this thing could be. I don't doubt this story at all, especially since so many soldiers report this.
Have you ever heard of the lottery conspiracy theory? You know, when you go inside of a gas station and you find lottery tickets and people buy them and they scratch them off in hopes of winning millions of dollars. What if I told you about the conspiracy theory that says the government created the lottery in order to catch time travelers? I know it sounds crazy, but just bear with me, it's going to make a lot of sense. Okay, so people believe the government created the lottery in order to catch time travelers. The chance of winning the lottery right now is about 1 in 14 million. So statistically, you have a better chance of getting struck by lightning. Now let's take a look at one of the most popular lotteries called the Mega Millions. You have a 1 in 300 million chance of winning this lottery. Or in other words, you would need to be struck by lightning 21 times back to back to back in order to win this lottery. So the odds of winning are nearly impossible, so that's why people believe the government created this in order to catch time travelers, is because the time travelers would know exactly where to go and exactly which one. God, that was a mouthful to say, but make sure to like and follow if you guys want to see more videos.
This video recently surfaced, showing a mosquito which appears to have the number 38 written on it. And I mean, what the hell is this all about? Of course, this has started conspiracy theories all over the internet. But one theory basically being that they're drones, you know, people that believe birds are drones. A lot of people actually believe pigeons, like every single pigeon is a drone. And get this, some people actually believe that the lockdown was staged by the government so they could replace all the bird/drones batteries. People are saying potentially this is like, I don't know, some government test or something, they're releasing some disease or whatever, who knows. The theory more believable, maybe they're doing tests on a group of mosquitoes and, you know, just put numbers on the back to categorize them or whatever. What makes it a bit creepier is that he didn't just find this one with a number on it, there was several the next day he found them, blah blah blah. But I mean, who knows, obviously it opens up the internet to a lot of theories, so let me know in the comments what you think, hit that follow button and I'll keep you updated.